hope all of you are doing fine. So today's positivity topic is, can hormones and contraceptives, hormonal contraceptives, be the reason to cause stress, anxiety, mood swings, bloating, body changes, and emotional well-being changes? Could that be a factor? So let's discuss, because I just share things as I go along in life. I'm not a medical expert, but I do experience life and learn new things, and I like to share as I go certain things. So if you find it interesting, do continue watching. And subscribe to my YouTube channel for more lovely videos and recipes. And also, if you want a little bit of positivity in your life, go to the Hint of Spiritual Positivity section on my YouTube channel, and you'll find a lot of positive messages out there that I put out there. And you can also share and comment some positivity that might help others as well. Stay tuned and watch. So have you guys noticed some women are very nurturing, compassionate, welcoming, voluptuous, good to look at, pleasing to the eye? Well, some are very frustrated, irritated, tired, grumpy, critical of others, backstabbing. No, backstabbing doesn't, but you know what I mean, the moods. Some are like, yeah, let's go. Some are like, hey, what are you doing? The intellectual life is to be taken seriously at all times. Why are people so different? Could it be the hormones? Yo, yeah, happy day. Happy day, because I say so. Yes, your life is how you make it. Y'all, flashing lights. Have you heard the song, Flashing Lights? Am I like a flashing light? I'm not flashing anything except a little bit of cleavage, but that's fine. Today's topic is all about women and hormones. Yes. Sometimes I don't play it too safe. Sometimes, most of my posts, like, men like it because it's like that, when a lady posts, is the opposite gender, because women are mostly criticizing, jealous, that, this. But I don't normally post for women, but this post is for women. Yes, clap hands. I always do that because we are achieving so many things as we go forward in life, And recently, I don't know, I'm a Lord Shiva devotee, though I'm born as a Christian, because Lord Shiva has helped me a lot in life, whenever I because the Panditji at the temple tells me, meditate, chant your mantra. Every time, depending on my astrological planetary positions, he gives me one new mantras and remedies to say, and I say it for a while. Things get better in my life, and I'm like, oh wow, things are going good, great. And then after that, things start going down, because I get I'm like, oh, mantra is boring, I don't want to sit there and meditate, I don't want to chant it, my life is more exciting than that. And then things start going downhill, and then again I get reminded, chant your mantras, and then I chant them, and then again things get better. So, and so Lord Shiva reveals certain things to me at certain times in my life, which I need, but it takes a while for me to figure it out. So when I was a teenager, I was, that's the age when all your planets are very, very strong and actively influencing your life astrologically. That's if you're a spiritual person. And that's the time when you're like, oh, I'm not sure why is this happening, why is this, you're trying to figure things out. And then you cross your 30s and late 20s and all, your planets start calming down, and then you are like, oh yeah, I know why this is, I know. And then late 50s, they kind of leave you alone, all the malefic ones at least. But then, the other ones, like health issues and all, start coming up. So, and then you slow down, so you're not as feisty as you were. But still, if you guys have seen my previous video a long time ago, not my previous video I posted a while back, when I got my dog Passion. He was a puppy. Puppies age quicker. Like, if you see a puppy, like 1-year-old puppy might be way older in human age, maybe 3 years old if that puppy was a human. So something like that, okay, not precise. So what happens is they grow older in terms of their maturity with what they have, and things like that. So when I got my puppy Passion, initially he was a puppy, he behaved like a puppy, he was so cute and cuddly, and then it took only like what, close to 6 months before he reached the puberty age, in terms of doggy age, like puberty, teenage age. And at that age, really, the hormones took over, and I could feel the change. All of a sudden he's like, running after the female dogs, trying to escape, and it was like that sex hormones really raged up and took over, and he was even humping on a cushion on my bed. I have posted that video. If you look at that Passion and you look at this Passion now, of course I had to rush him, take him and get him de-sexed, because I wanted the hormones to get balanced back and come back to normal. But if you guys saw that video, you'll be like, oh my god, is this that cute cuddly dog? What's he doing humping on a cushion? Oh my god, that's like wild Animal Planet geographical stuff, yo, biological stuff. So that was the starting of where I realized, like, sometimes things might not be in our control. The reality that we think is reality might be affected. Definitely it is affected by our hormones, in majority of to a majority of an extent, and that's what this hormones, they do change the chemicals in our brain, because it does change things in our brain, and we think that, okay, that is our reality, but it might just be another illusion, because everything that we see, feel, sense, everything is controlled mostly by these different sorts of hormones, y'all. So so this is why I said this post is mainly for ladies, even though I've dragged on with my intro. It's basically like these days, yes, so the reason why we are on this earth is to procreate, not just us, all species. The universe wants us to procreate, but obviously we have invented contraception being human beings, because we don't want lot of babies growing like chickens all over, even like 1 or 2 kids or 3 kids itself like takes a toll, because you need to see to their upbringing, their education, it's the expense and things like that, the well-being. And the other thing is, especially for women, we, like, when we reach teenagers and all, to avoid unwanted pregnancies and things like that, especially if you're a woman with good vigor and all, like I was like that, y'all. Like I was like, oh man, so many sexy boys in the house, boys in the house, and I was like, whew, and the attraction was not one-sided either. So then there's studies, that says like, what's it? So I was seeing all these, and then only now I realized God wanted me to put this video out there, because it could help a lot of women, because the form and method of contraception can, one of their major side effects that I found, that was on Google, that was really concerning, was mental health. Because have you ever noticed, I was like, oh, when I was young and all, I had more willpower, and when I see people like they're more stronger and emotionally, as I was growing up. But these days, like, wherever I see, people are stressed, people are depressed, people are anxious. And I even saw a post on one of the Facebook groups where now women are standing up. They're like, oh my god, I feel so anxious and I get this panic suddenly. I don't know what's happening. And I'm in some of the mums groups too, because I'm a mum. So I joined some mums groups to see how women who are mums are handling, coping, to hear. So I'm like, what happens after you become a mum? Like, okay, I heard about postpartum depression and things like that. Okay, maybe they might be hereditary, or maybe one of the side effects that you're feeling this could be that it's related to your method of contraception, because obviously after you have babies, you don't want more, depending on your family planning, or you might want more. But if you don't want more kids, of course you have to take some precaution, method. And obviously using condoms and all is not practical, because if you're a person who has sex every day, that 2, 3, 4 times, I mean, I'm talking about Casanova here. So if you're like that, it means healthy sex life, yeah, it's not bad to have it, every day. But, 3 times also if you're experimenting with something, like, if you want to be like, oh, hey, I like whipped cream. Okay, this video is not going there. But what I meant is, let's not talk about chocolates and strawberries and sex, though they all sound so compatible together. We are talking about, so if you're that sort of a person with good vigor and things like that, could also be your hormones, And people say that they have decreased libido, sex drive, when you take these contraception. So, sometimes just see, because majority of us are on contraceptives, maybe see, you guys can see this, like I have a little slit here. See, that was by putting that progesterone bar in there. So as soon as, now I don't have it, I've taken the bar out. It was very drastic, but I was like, I don't want my sex life to get ruined. I don't want more babies. I just want to have sex. So, at that time, after I had, like, my pregnancy, after marriage and things like that, I didn't want, like, when you're married, you're like, it's normal, have a kid, whenever God wants to give it, because so many people don't have kids. But after, one, I was like, oh my God, this is so draining. I couldn't take it. So I was like, I just I don't want to forget my pills, or I don't want to forget this. So I put the bar in, the progesterone bar over there. But every day I was bleeding. But emotionally I felt okay. I felt strong. I felt different. I felt more, I don't know if masculine is the word, but you know what, like many women look like men after a certain age and all. It's all the hormones, and that's why they give this hormone therapy once you cross the age of 50, once you start your menopause. And then there's the pre-menopause hormone therapies too. I think they give you estrogen and progesterone as well, and androgens play a big part as well, because if you have fine thinning hair and all that, which I had experienced as well in the past and all. So if you go through those things, it's like some hormones or something called androgens, and it's a lot of hormones. They are the ones that regulate you, how you behave, how you perceive life. If you're feeling too gloomy, lack of sex drive, low libido, or even increased sex drive and all, it could be your hormones, y'all. So naturally, they say without you taking any contraceptives. So this bar, when I put the progesterone, when I was bleeding every single day, for some people, they don't bleed at all. But I believe, like, when you're in your menstruating age, it's good to have your periods once every month, even if you're on a contraceptive, because not having periods at all, I don't know how it makes you feel as a woman. But anyway, so there are different methods, different methods of contraceptives you can take, and one is some hysterectomy, that completely taking out your ovaries. Is that what it's called? Oh, not your uterus, should be your ovaries, right? And then they tie up your fallopian tube together. That's surgery, and it's not reversible. So once you do that, you can't go back. So even women who have got that taken out, they can have different sorts of hormones, which means they can have different outlooks in life. And sometimes people say, oh, my mother is so toxic, she's not nurturing anymore. It might not really be your mother's conscious doing. Subconsciously, it might be the hormones that changed a woman that way. You know what I mean? So do consider, if you were feeling good during your pregnancy time when you were not taking any contraceptives, and if you were feeling good before you went on contraceptives, and then you started this contraceptive and you started having a very toxic relationship with it. Maybe for me personally, I felt like, the one I was previously having, I changed mine yesterday. Actually, I went to the doctor and got it changed, because the one I was previously having, I felt was a bit too high for me. I don't know if it was the estrogen level or the progesterone level, but one of it was too high. probably the estrogen, because it was making my boobs all sensitive and painful, and I don't know, people say I have big bust, but a woman can't walk flat like a man. You gotta have something. This is not a botoxed one or anything, but I don't think it's extra big or anything. It suits me, but if you take more of the estrogen hormones, they say it can increase your size a bit slightly and all, but it comes with a lot of side effects, including blood clotting and things like that. If you take too much of estrogen, and also everything in a balance, you've got to balance those hormones. So yeah, go get tested, blood test, adrenalines. My doctor does not let me take any hormone blood test these days. I don't know, because everything she says comes back normal, but I feel sometimes, depending on my cycle, something is not normal, because I feel these side effects. So my main side effect was with my previous form of contraceptive. It was that I was feeling very bloated all the time. I got headaches, like especially this area. I was like, oh my god. Not every day, obviously. It was just that 1 week before my periods, especially the beginning of the month, which is around this time. So that's why I had to go see the doctor, because I knew like something in my hormones is, what is it? And of course I meditated. I'm like, why you're not giving me a sign? Why do I feel so bad? When I was a teenager, I never felt so bad before my periods, like 1 week before. That's why last time I made a video too, how to reduce the symptoms before your periods, because I got the vitamin B tablets, and yeah, just watch that video too. But that too was, something was there inside that was, that I didn't even notice, that's causing these, and I felt all bloated, headaches. I can't, some nights before my periods, I just wake up and I normally have very good deep sleep. So when it's different, then you're like, oh yeah, it's just because my periods are coming. But still, I don't want to suffer that extreme, because even when I was a teenager, before periods came, I didn't suffer so much. Why? Once I cross 30, things are different. Obviously, the hormones are changed naturally. But then what is it? Of course, so yesterday I was chanting about it. So I just say, Om Namah Shivaya 108 times. And that, like before, I used to have a lot of negativity. I feel like every day chanting that Om Namah, the vibrations really did take away all the negativity little by little. And even when it comes every day, when I keep chanting, I get clarity in some form. God Shiva helps me. That's how I realized, oh, there's this one thing, that's in my life that's unnoticed. It's unnoticed, right? Because we take the contraceptive and then we forget it, because we are so busy enjoying sex life. We don't, I don't have to worry about having babies because I don't want any anymore. Or at this time, depending on when you're planning to have your next kid or what your plans are. So you forget that, you are taking some form of contraception. And what is that? That is obviously hormonal. And what is it doing? It's affecting your hormones in the form of estrogen, different forms of progestins, not progesterones, because progesterone is like a natural thing that's in our body that helps us feel good. But these things have side effects. And one of the side effects is anxiety, stress, panic attacks, depression, gloominess, weight gain, weight loss, and some people say even your voice changes. So you got to find the right contraceptive that works for you, that has less side effects. Sometimes if you're like having mental health, emotional well-being issues, it could be hereditary or some other factors too, maybe some traumas and all. But it could also be related to this, because when I checked on Google, this was one of the symptoms. When I'm talking about symptoms, I should talk about everything, not just what I'm going through, like headaches and bloating. There are other things like voice changing and all other things, very massive weight gain and all. So because I don't know who it could help, because so many of us, including teenagers, are taking this damn contraceptives, and we might feel different, but we might think that is our reality. Because some teenagers, we see so many people are getting depressed and anxious and all these days. It could, I'm not saying it is, because we don't know. I'm not a medical professional, but that thing that you don't notice could or might be the reason for this. It might be the side effect of it, that you're this thing, but you're not noticing it because you're forgetting that that form of contraceptive is there in your system. So do think about that if you're going through these sort of issues and emotional stuff, because it could be related to this contraception that you're taking, whether it's a form of, whatever different forms are out there. There's so many. There is the bar, there is the IUT copper rings, and everything, that is hormonal can cause this. So you need to find the right one and you can test it. It takes about 3 months once you start taking it to see if it's suiting you. And if you're taking it, you stop it for about 3 to 6 months, without getting pregnant. I mean, unless you want to get pregnant, and see if you feel different, if all that dark clouds you're feeling has disappeared, if you're not feeling as depressed anymore, if you're not feeling as anxious anymore, if you're not feeling as scared or fearful anymore. And it could all be related to this one thing that was affecting your hormones a bit too much, So they say after 35 years old, it's not good to take the contraceptives that have both estrogen and progesterone. So you might want to take just the progesterone one to reduce the side effects, but then still when you cross menopause age, you still have to take some estrogen. So I'm also learning as I go, y'all. Now I'm 33, so till 35 I'm a little bit okay, but they say if you're above 35 and smoking, so ladies, if you guys are smoking, try to quit, but if you can't, there are certain risks associated with that, and you go from that 40 to 50 mark. So that is a premenopausal, right? 35 onwards. No, yeah, 35, leading up to, the 40s and 50s, where on average, that's where menopause actually starts. So the few years before your menopause actually starts, the years leading to it also, has these hormonal changes going on. And some women who have not even crossed 40, 50 might not even have their periods, I don't understand those things. So you have to check with your medical professional what's going on, but hormones play a big part, y'all. That's all I wanted to say, of how we feel, how we see the world, how, our moods are. I don't know. And they even say, like, before you take the contraception, like the partners even that you attract, hey, move from here, I'm talking an important topic. Sorry guys, my son's come and messed up things. Well, at least he tried to anyway, trying to distract me while I'm recording my video. Now I just lose the plot of the topic. I lose the flow, because it has to flow. This is not scripted, so it's coming directly from what I feel. So it might take longer than a scripted video, but who cares? Watch it if you want to. Otherwise, leave in peace. But this will help somebody, So yeah, so even if you type on Google, I was researching this topic actually for the past 2 days, But yeah, because I want to feel better too, because I'm, once I cross 30s, I'm feeling different. And of course the hormone levels. So, I have to make sure that I'm running smoothly. So yeah. So one other thing is, they say on Google when you do research, women before they are on any contraceptive like the estrogen and progesterone, when they are naturally hormonal, the body produces natural hormones, they tend to attract more macho men, more masculine men, because what's the purpose of us is to procreate, to recreate, so we look at men who are genetically a bit different from us. I think the odors are different naturally, so that there is than being similar to us. So that way there's a better chance of creating much stronger DNA kids, genetically stronger kids. But those macho men might be more of the cheating type, and there will be fidelity issues. But when you're on the contraceptive pill, they're saying that studies show that you choose a man who's more similar to you, but who's less masculine. So, which means they are more nurturing, they are more emotionally reliable and stable and secure. So those marriages tend to last longer and be more stable. But then once you stop the contraceptive. For example, when you're pregnant and all, you might not be as attracted to that person when your natural hormones kick back in. So you might be like, oh, what's this, because your hormones play a big role, y'all. That's the purpose of this video. So I don't know how much of it is true and all, but this is just part of the little Google research that I did. People said, don't go on Google, it has all bullshit in there. But, take it or leave it. Nobody's forcing you to take it. But does it have any resemblance, similarities? Because, if somebody invents a hormonal changing pill, could change all our lives for the better or for the worse, depending on its side effects and what it's made for. But hormones definitely do play a big role in our lives, and especially, like I said, so they say in that case, find a partner while you're not on the pill, and then start taking the pill. But then of course you'll get a macho man. I don't know about fertility issues, but yeah, if you want a more long, and those relations tend to break off as well, as per some research is conducted. But if you're finding a partner while you're on the pill, the chances are you'll find, less masculine man, but relationship wise, even if sex is a little bit crap, relationship wise, things would be stable. Or the other way around is the sex might be great, awesome, so satisfying, but your relationship might be, it's like F and F. You know what I mean? One F is for fighting, the other F is you figure it out. So yeah, it'll be like that. So what sort of a relationship would you prefer? So I'm like, oh wow, like different choices. When you're on a contraceptive with the hormones, you feel different, and you perceive men different, they perceive you different, or everything is our hormones. How we are driven, what we are attracted to, how we are feeling, how our skin looks, our body looks, I can't emphasize more on it. So women, ladies, this post is for you. And don't normally post for women because you guys are jealous, but the other day too, but God was showing me different signs. One was my dog. When he was a puppy, he was innocent. Then when he became in that puberty age, he was humping and sexing, and he was just a totally different vicious creature. And once I desexed him, he's back to normal again. So again, it's the hormones in any species. And maybe some men too, they say when they are more sexually abnormally sexual, more too much, they give them some medicine. I don't know if it's androgen, or I don't remember anymore, because I was just researching all these things. So yeah, hormones play a big part, and some people might just be the way they are because of the hormones, especially like men have more testosterone and all that, that gives them much more of another edge to it. And especially women who have more of those hormones might be more, you might feel a bit more masculine punch in them. So if you feel why some ladies are not voluptuous, why they are so, and then I saw that other post too, it was a funny post that I shared. It's like women who are going through menopause are psycho, itchy, lot of sweaty. So I'm like, why does this happen? And I feel that too, sometimes I post some things on social media. I like to look sexy, feminine and all, and some grumpy women, they're the ones who sit there and scratch you, what is she doing? Frustrated. So I'm like, why can't these people just have romance, sex and enjoy life? But it doesn't happen. Once your periods stop every month, maybe things change, maybe you become more grouchy, and that's not like you're reacting that way, but that might not be the person, that might be the hormones in them doing the talking. That's why some people are like, oh, their mothers are not very nurturing, they seem very toxic. It's just their hormones, might have changed over time. So do consider that. This is not a definite medical thing or anything, but I hope people will do more research on it, because it can help women regulate our hormones more. Even men regulate the hormones more, because hormones are everything. But then with any hormonal things you intake, there are chances of side effects. And one of the major side effects what I've seen is mood changes. How it will change, we don't know. It can make you feel very empowered, or it can make you So yeah, so that might be expecting like a lot of teenagers and a lot of people, because many are, especially ladies, female gender people are on some or the other form of contraceptives, isn't it? Because we don't want to have too many babies roaming around like chickens in the yard. Chickens in the yard. So yeah, that's my topic for today. I know it could be controversial. Many of you might have different, but it might help you guys. Just check if your mood swings or whatever is going on is because of your form of contraception, or you have to change it, or what can you do, and things like that, or if it's just something else, or some other hormone related or genetic. It could be anything, but go see your doctor and have a good medical plan according to yourself, because who wants to feel crappy? Life is so beautiful when you feel pumped up, energized, you got that vigor, vitality, and you have a good sex drive. But you don't want babies coming out like chickens roaming in your yard. Hey, so yeah, I think I'll wind up this topic. That's all I have to say. You guys will see more from me if my hormones feel up to it. But yeah, anyway, so now I changed to a new form of the thing I told you guys, contraceptive. But I truly hope that I don't have to stop it. I can still take it for my hormone replenishment, but it won't mess up with my periods and moods and everything, and it regulates myself very much more. Otherwise, what else can you do, y'all? What else can you do? If you guys have suggestions, do comment and let me know. If this was useful, do comment and let me know. And also, research has shown that people who are on contraceptives versus people who are not on hormonal contraceptives have changes in their brain scans. So I wonder if Einstein was a genius because his brain was different, isn't it? Because hormones affect the chemicals in the brain, and it's all chemicals, y'all. If you look at ourselves using a microscope, we're all chemicals, or some little cells and molecules. That's what makes this whole thing up. It's such a complex system if you think about it, isn't it? And everything is like different because of different things. It's like a Ferrari, a bus, a Lamborghini, and a Toyota. Different make. Also, ladies and single ladies, if a guy says, "Oh hey, but I don't like to use condoms," tell him to get out. Go away. There's plenty of fish in the sea. You don't have to compromise. Remember, the guy doesn't have to carry, the baby in the womb for 9 months and give birth. It's you ladies who has to go through it. So if you're not ready for it, you're not taking hormonal contraceptives, you want to use protection, and the guy is refusing, kick him out. Kick him out. It's not worth it. It's not worth all that suffering. Like, find somebody who's, wants to do it. And also, you don't know, if they have any diseases or something unless they get tested. So just tell it to them. Give it up to their face. Plain honesty. Whether they like it or not, this is what it is. It's what it is. Or get out. Have the guts to say that, ladies. If the person is worth it, it won't be just for that. I mean, the person can get it by using a proper condom, contraceptive, without a hormone. Like, if you're not using a hormonal one, because you don't want to make chickens in the yard, babies in the yard, scream and sing a rapping song based on that, because you got babies in the yard every 9 months. Unless you want that, of course. But if you don't, and also the other thing is, if you noticed that your partner suddenly lost interest in you, try to think whether it's before the hormonal contraceptive, or after the person started taking the hormonal contraceptive, and see if that makes any difference. If you fought and left your partner and they ran away, see if it's because of the contraceptive that made them feel less attractive, or made you feel less attractive to them. Or so many divorces these days, could it be because of the contraceptive, or people It was only later on, after the relationship progressed, that people started taking contraceptive and things changed. Or, yeah, maybe when you were not taking contraceptive, you found a macho man, and the man was not having fertility because of his hormones. It's all hormones, y'all. Hormones, my god. Controls everything, isn't it? Control freak. So guys, before I go, the surgery to take out the uterus or the womb, not the ovaries, it's called hysterectomy. I wanted to say that too. So that's what some people do, as a permanent removal of the uterus, and their hormones could be different too. So they might need some hormonal therapies in the form of estrogen or progesterone. Each one of them are good in certain ways. Like progesterone is your natural one, but when you go artificially, it's called progestin, I think. Yeah, that comes with side effects. So all the synthetic ones have side effects, but what can you do? So when you replenish your body with the hormonal therapies, yeah, it can be good depending on the levels. If it's too much or too little, then you have problems. You got to have the balance. That's what life is about. Whatever you do, balance. Whether it's freedom, if you take too much freedom and do things, you can land in trouble. You need to restrict yourself, because everything you need balance. Whether it's drinking, smoking, alcohol, everything. And as you age, your hormones start doing a dance, and balancing them can be difficult, and then you feel all sorts of. But let's pray and hope. Anyway, I'm ending this video officially now. Om Namah Shivaya. And thank you to Lord Shiva for showing these things as I learn, as I go through my life. Even being a mother was not easy, but I learned so many new things. Thank you to God for guiding me, even about myself. I have so much more to learn. It's a mystery as I age. But I hope God will help me and give me the grace to age, wisdom to age gracefully, and keep helping me and everybody out there who needs it. Because not everybody is destined to hear this video or watch this video. I've blocked so many grumpy ladies in the past. Unfortunately, they don't get to watch this video. Or it might have helped them, because they would just realize they might be just a little bit grumpy and frustrated because their hormones are fluctuatingly dancing. Anyway, bye-bye.